What's up, Yugioh followers? It is Yugioh Dueling Corner here, bringing you yet again another Exodia deck. This time I'm bringing you an Exodia FTK Dragon Draw deck. It's semi-competitive and it's cheap to make. Everything in this deck can come common, besides the Head of Exodia, Powder Duality, and the Flame Belts. But Flame Belts are already cheap, and there's so many prints of Exodia. It's pretty easy to make and pretty easy to obtain. It is my most preferred Exodia FTK deck. I find it to be maybe the most consistent and the one to have the highest chance of getting Exodia first turn, and the most safe to play. I personally don't run this competitively. I find the Mystic Piper Exodia deck to be more competitive, because the chance of FTKing multiple rounds with an Exodia FTK lessens. I mean, to go multiple duels, multiple matches, and try the top, it's just feels unlikely to me. But besides that, it's fun to make, it's fun to play, it's annoying to verse, and other people might hate you for it, but try it out. So let's get to it. Here are the 5 pieces of Exodia. Get all 5 pieces to your hand and win the game. Then 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Search this out with a White Stone of Legend when White Stone is sent to the graveyard, and use this with trade-in to discard this and draw 2. 1 Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Search this out with Toon Table of Contents and trade it in and draw 2. 3 White Stones of Legends. When this is sent to the graveyard, search a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand. So you use this with Cards of Consonance to discard White Stone, draw 2, and then search your Blue Eyes. 2 Flame Bells. It's just more targets for Cards of Consonance, and it's a normal monster, so you can Dark Factory it, and you can, which works well because Blue Eyes is also normal and your pieces are normal in case they went to the graveyard. So 3 was too many. I like running 2. 3 Thunder Dragons. They're not dragon type monsters, so it won't count with Super Regeneration, but it's a great deck then, and it's a great way to get pluses in your hand. So discard 1 Thunder Dragon, search up to 2 more, and get them from your deck to your hand. So you just, deck them 2 cards and you have a +1 in your hand for hand destruction. Powder Duality, you only want to run 1 because you can't activate multiple during the same turn, and you're trying to FTK. So 2 would just be a dead draw. 3 Cards of Consonance. Use this with White Stone or Flame Veil Guard to discard them and draw 2. 3 Trade-ins. Use this with Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Toon Dragon to discard them and draw 2. 2 Hand Destructions. Now this is good and bad because it is sending and not discarding, so it won't count with Super Regeneration because it wasn't discarded. But it's good because it's a quick play, and when you activate Super Regeneration, you draw in the end phase. So if you were to draw into Hand Destruction, you can activate it because it's a quick play spell, and you can activate that during the end phase. So I run 2. 1 Dark Factory. In case you did discard Exodia pieces, which I try to avoid in case they have a Deity Crow, or for mainly to get Blue Eyes or Flame Veil Guard from the graveyard to use trade-in or Cards of Consonance. 3 Super Generations. This is how you FTK. This is the main draw power in the deck. For every dragon type monster that was tributed or discarded this turn, you draw 1 for each one of those. So you can activate Super Regeneration, and let's say you discarded 6 dragons, you draw 6, and then you draw into another Super Regeneration. Then you can activate Super Regeneration because it's a quick play spell. Just make sure you're counting how many cards left in deck, and you're counting how many cards you've discarded, because you can't call Exodia in a chain. So if you activate Super Regeneration and you draw into Exodia, but you discarded 8 dragons and you only had 6 cards left in deck, you're going to deck out and you're not going to get to call the victory. So just make sure you play right. Be aware of how many cards left in your deck. Just, that's a bad misplay because you just gave your opponent the game. 1 reload. I wanted to run more because this can help getting, you know, if you have a bad hand, you can start over. Or the main reason you want to run this over Magical Mallet is the quick play. I know Magical Mallet, you choose what cards you want to return, but reload you can activate in the end phase to get that other super regeneration, which is going to make you help you draw the rest of your deck. Or in case you don't have all the pieces of Exodia, let's say you drew all of your deck and there's 2 cards left, you actually reload and try to get all the pieces. Then you run 3 trade-ins. Great deck thinning. You get 1 in hand. You activate 2 in table of contents to search 1 tune card. So you're going to search 2 in table of contents, and then you're going to search 2 in table of contents, and then that 2 in table of contents will search Blue Eyes. So 1 card just subtracted 3 cards from your deck and gave you an 8-star monster to trade in. So it works really well. 3, 1 day of peace. A really good card. Your opponent does draw 1. I mean, you and your opponent both draw 1 card, and you don't take any damage until the end of their turn. So it can protect you in case maybe you don't want to go all out, you don't feel confident in drawing the next card to continue your drawing. So, you know, you can activate 1 day of peace, let the turn pass, and then draw a card and then activate another 1 day of peace, or however you want to do it. So a great card, I just want to draw power. And then you run 3 Upstart Goblins. Your opponent gains 1,000 and you draw a card. So you run 40 cards in this deck. It's an Exodia deck. You never really want to run more than 40 cards. You just want to increase the chance of you drawing the Exodia as fast as possible. For a side deck, it's not as important as other decks. You can still run the side deck. I suggest you do, but I'm not going to cover that. You can put whatever you want into it, but I will cover cards I did not run in the deck that you might ask why. The first card will be Magical Library. The main reason is in this current format, so many people are maining Effect Veilers. In fact, Jet Veiler just got reprinted Super, so everybody's going to have 1 in their deck, or everybody has the ability to get 1 if they want to run in their deck. Everybody's running it for windups mainly, and some other decks, plus it's just a good card. So I don't want to summon this, and for them to Effect Veiler it, I mean, that's pretty bad. So it'd be a -1, and I just find the Royal Magical Library to be better used in another deck that's maybe a little more magic heavy than this one is. Some people might tell me to run Into the Void. The reason I don't run this is because in case you don't FTK them and you activate it Into the Void, you just gave them game. You can still win turn 2 if they don't OTK you. I mean, unless they're running a deck that has an OTK, it's pretty hard to get 8,000 damage on the field. It's not common enough, so I don't run Into the Void. 1 Day of Peace came out, so it kind of replaced these. Alert of Darkness. It's a good draw power, but the only dark targets in the deck is the Exodia pieces. And I'm not going to toss like Trihorn Dragons in the deck because, you know, Whitestone search Blue Eyes and I can just recycle Blue Eyes with Dark Factory, and Dark Factory has multiple options of what I want to get from the grave. So Alert of Darkness is not meant for this Exodia deck. I already explained why I didn't run the more reloads and the Flamvell Guard. Some tech cards that you can toss in if you'd like to is Kinkabio. Pretty cool. The only issue with Kinkabio is that it doesn't work if you activate Pot of Duality. But how this works is you normal summon Kinkabio, and if a Whitestone is engraved, I mean you can even do it with Flamvell Guard, but if Whitestone's engraved, it's more ideal. You special summon that when Kinkabio is normal summoned. You synchro the Kinkabio and Whitestone of Legend, and you sync into Formula. Formula helps you to draw 1 card. And because Whitestone was sent to the graveyard again, you get to search another Blue Eyes from your deck to your hand. So it's +2, +1. And one reason I didn't like running it because of the Pot of Duality, and in case if I'm not going first, they can just sound warning it if they figure out what deck I'm running. And Mystic Piper, great card. In some ways, it's better than Kinko. You can normal summon him, and because he's a tribute, he gets around a lot of things. They can't really affect Valor him because you can just tribute him and they'll miss their target. If you call priority, of course. So it's pretty good, and the Flame Veils are 1 stars, the White Stones are 1 stars, and the pieces are 1 stars. So you can get a +2 off of it. I mean a +1. If not, you at least get a 1 for 1. The other card, it's downstairs, but is Future Fusion. It's good if you draw it early. I just find it bad if you draw it late. I just prefer running something more consistent and more reliable. But what you would do with Future Fusion is you would activate it, target 5-headed dragon, send 2 Flame Veils and 3 White Stones, or if you wanted to change the build to 3 Flame Veils, however you want to do it. Mainly you just want to send the 3 White Stones and 2 other dragons, and the White Stones will search you the 3 Blue Eyes to hand. So that would get you a lot of pluses to hand. But it's not counting them as discarded, they're being sent, so you wouldn't get them counted for Super Regeneration. So it's up to you. Yeah, Future Fusion is a good card. I just personally didn't prefer running it. So that's about it. I'll be covering all the other Exodia FTK decks, so stay tuned. I'll be posting one more tonight, and I'll be posting another one next week. I'm going to be covering every viable Exodia deck that I find that could be at least semi-competitive. So stay tuned for that, and I should be doing some unboxings in the future, binders, and maybe some event coverage. So just stay tuned to my channel, subscribe, like, comment, send me messages if you want. Nothing here is for trade, so the deck's not for trade, the map's not for trade, so I'm not trading anything currently. The map might be trade for later, so just stay tuned for when that is. So please subscribe, I need subscribers, and like the video. Thank you and have a good day.